So Nebbiolo is the grape variety. Is the grape variety with which you make Barolo and Barbaresco. I might sound a bit redundant. Some of you are wine experts, and some other not. So I like to repeat these things. They are somehow obvious, but it's better to remember. Nebbiolo is the grape variety. Always remember, in Italy, we don't tend to call the wines with the name of the grape variety, but the name of the place or the type of wine. As an average, Chianti is not a grape variety. Brunello is not a grape variety. It is. It's not. Montepulciano is Nobile di Montepulciano is not a grape variety. And Barolo and Barbaresco are two villages are made with one grape variety called Nebbiolo. Allora, Nebbiolo, I used to say Nebbiolo is really particular. I call the Nebbiolo the old and nasty man. It's a grape variety that doesn't really adapt to places. And it really, really significantly changed based on the climate and the soil. I give you an example. Why grape varieties are divided mainly in two big families. Efficient, adaptable, easygoing, comfortable grape varieties. Wherever they plant it, they give you some results. Chardonnay is one of them. Cabernet is one of them. Cabernet Sauvignon, I'm talking about. Merlot. That's why these grape varieties are. Syrah is another one. But Syrah, I might discuss about it. But as an average, those grape varieties, no matter where they plant, they give you a decent result. Maybe not interesting, but drinkable. That's why they can become so famous all over the world. Not just for this reason, but that's one of the reasons. Other grape varieties like Nebbiolo, like Pinot Noir, like I would say even Sauvignon. We need to discuss about Sauvignon one day. They tend to really change a lot, and the result can be terrible if the climate and the soil are not ideal. And I would say that the only three places in the world where Nebbiolo, in my experience, they can get some significant result is the area of Langhe, of course, Barolo and Barbaresco, over here. And then the area of Valtellina, north of Milan, that is over here. And all this northern area, like the Colline Novaresi, we have the Gattinara, we have the Bocca, we have the Bramaterra, we have the Lessona. Every one of this region has slightly different laws. You can technically add up to sometimes even 20% and 40% when we talk about Bramaterra, other grape varieties. The purists, they tend to make just wine with the Nebbiolo. Castello Conti, those I call it the three sisters, because they are three sisters. Now one is actually went to Germany, so there are only two running the winery. They live in this fairy tale castle that was made by their father, who passed away unfortunately 10 years ago. And he created this like middle-aged castle, but he was built in 1964. Their wines are really, really unique. They tend to be really light, delicate, and persistent at the same time. So you have a perception of Nebbiolo that is completely different from what we usually think Nebbiolo is, with those strong tannins. For example, comparing with the Barbaresco. This is Origini, means origin, and this is a blend of Nebbiolo and other local grape varieties. Some of them, they don't even know what it's made of. And the characteristic of the Nebbiolo of this area, as I was telling before, are to be the characteristic of Nebbiolo here is actually not to be so tight and not to be so hard as the Barbaresco and Barolo. If you think, what is actually impressive about these wines also, that you think that those wines cannot age because they are lighter comparing to Barolo and Barbaresco. Well, I tell you what, the oldest Nebbiolo I've ever tried that they were still in shape, they were from this area or from Gattinara. Do you remember the 1955 that I got? We tasted, and it was the wines here aged better than Barolo and Barbaresco. Bring me here a bottle of Barolo and Barbaresco that is from 1955, like 99 on 10 it will be gone. So, be careful to say that this is just a simple, easy wine that is not complex. Nice acidity, nice crispiness, a nice bit of a spice, earthy, metallic. It's kind of also a nice creamy young fruit in the middle, and this is mainly balancing the Nebbiolo. Do you feel it?
It's just nice and juicy.
Juicy and earthy at the same time. So people that like fruity ones will love it. People like the dry ones, they will love it.